Do you think we're living in a simulation?
We are edgy lines, we break the mold. Not normal, not from normal, there's never control. Countless stars in our rebel skies. We blaze our trails, we cut off ties.
Do you think we're living in a simulation?
No,
Why not?
I don't call what God created a simulation. A simulation, I think it goes more towards a game, something that someone is playing with us.
What do you think that means when people say something, you're living in a simulation?
That somebody is just playing with your life and you don't have control of anything. Somebody's just like making fun of you. Oh, let me put these options here. Oh, she's going to choose this. Like, no, I don't believe that. Do you?
I think that when I was listening to the podcast I was watching, and it was talking about how we are living in a simulation, I thought it was interesting because for a moment it made me stop to think about it. I was like, obviously, I think that what you're saying, it almost seems like we can't be living in a simulation. If you believe that there is some sort of God, it's highly unlikely that you believe that there is a simulation.
I think the simulation point is just a way out to not say you believe in God. Because if you say, okay, I don't believe in God, but then how we're out here, you also don't know. So let's just say we're in a simulation. Like, yeah, that's it.
A lot of times science can explain a lot of things, but one of the things that it can't explain is like where we came from. They can't explain how you can create something from nothing.
Right.
You said that with the podcast that you saw recently, it was depressing. Why was it depressing to you? Like, what's one of the things that you remember that made it sound very depressing?
It's just kind of sad the way he explained about AI and
what part
how
about it?
Everybody's gonna lose their jobs and basically everybody's gonna die in the next 10 years. I don't believe that's gonna happen. I think that the world is going to adapt and will use AI for their benefit. Yeah, there could be some potential danger, yeah, but I think that kind of danger that he's talking about, like AI actually taking over the world and like killing everyone, I don't think that's gonna happen, especially in the next 10 years.
Why do you think that that's not gonna happen?
Because I think humans are smarter than that. I think that they won't let that happen because there's a lot of young people also that are up there a little bit more like in control of things and they want to live, so if they have a choice, money or their life, if they lose their life, the money doesn't matter anymore.
I think that right now we're in this very special moment in history where a lot of people in the world of technology and AI, they have no choice but to compete. Who is the one that's gonna make history? Imagine if we don't do it, or if America doesn't do it, somebody else will, and everybody's competing. And there's a lot of money in the line. And if you think about it, there's a high chance that AI is going to end the world.
You think so too?
After listening to that podcast I saw, I think there's a high chance that AI is the end of the world. It's a tool and it all depends on who uses it. But what happens is the kind of AI they were talking about in that podcast that we both saw, it's so advanced that like I imagined possibility as to why it would end the world. I didn't take it as depressing in that way. I took it more as in like, wow, this is so interesting. And it made me think about life,
It is interesting.
I saw this video recently and it said that most people are going to live to be 70, 80 years old. That means that you only get 80 summers, 80 winters. And when I saw that recently, I was like, wow. And then today, after watching that podcast, I was like, wow. So
or less than that even, because 80 is actually pretty old.
Which leads to the next thing, which is interesting. In that podcast, I don't know if you got far into that podcast, but there was a moment where they talked about something that I thought was probably the most fascinating part about that podcast.
What?
Escape velocity. And they were talking about how a person, because of technology and AI,
can live forever.
Yeah, that was crazy. What do you think of that? Like, what do you think about the potential of being able to live forever? Would you want to live forever in this mortal world?
Definitely not.
Why not?
Because I'm not from this world. I don't want to be from this world. I don't like this world.
Why? What does this world do to you?
Really? Do I have to mention? Like, do I have to tell you what they did? This world is so evil. It's so evil. This is not the place that we are made for. It's not.
So if this is not the place we're made for, why are we here?
We're meant to be here right now. But we are not meant to be eternally here. Definitely not. If that was the point, then we would have lived forever here. But we don't. We die for a reason.
In the Bible, isn't there stories about people that got to live like a long time? Like supposedly Moses, I think, lived to be over 1,000 years old.
No, no.
Supposedly, like there's characters in the Bible
but
that I heard.
there is characters that lived like hundreds and hundreds of years.
So what if we got to live 1,000 years? How is that bad still?
I don't think I would want to. I know there's a lot of people that like this world, and that's totally fine. Then go ahead and do whatever you want to do and have to do to be able to make that happen. But I personally would not want that.
Even if you could make, obviously, what if they told you that they can make it so that you don't become a grandma? Like you would stay however old you are right now. You would be in the best shape you could possibly be, and you'd be able to live that way until 1,000 years old, and then you would just die.
No thanks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No thank you. This world has already deceived me so much and hurt me, and I think everybody, honestly. This world.
What did y'all do to her?
You've never got hurt? You've never felt pain?
I've gotten hurt, but if I had the choice to live to be 1,000 in this mortal world, I would take it. And if I got the chance to live forever in this world, I would take it.
Yeah, so, there's people that like it. And that's fine. There's actually nothing wrong with that. If you like this world, then go ahead and do the things you gotta do. But again, I wouldn't.
But what is wrong with this mortal world? You're not gonna miss this world when you die?
No.
Are you serious? You're not gonna miss all those delicious foods, those awesome experiences, those wholesome moments that you've had in your life. You're not gonna be.
What do you think these wholesome moments come from? They come from God. And when you die, you just go back to God. You go to heaven. I believe in heaven. I believe it's like your eternal place. And then your body will get resurrected, which means that you're gonna actually have your body. All these good experiences you have on earth come from God. They're like a little glimpse of what you were actually going to experience in your eternal life. So I would rather my eternal life than here, which is just like that little 0.1% of the goodness and a billion of the bad, which I don't want it.
So this 0.1% or whatever you're saying of our existence or our purpose in this everything, if it was so meaningless, then why would we have it?
The 0.1%.
Yeah, like this living and existing in this mortal world. If it was as meaningless as you're saying it is.
I never said it's meaningless. No.
Oh.
It's meaningful. We're here for a reason. We're all here for a reason.
So how important do you think this is?
Extremely important. This will determine your eternity.
Do you think a person can go to heaven without living in the mortal world?
The reason why is because they have to go through these tests to prove who they are.
And what if the person never gets to live? Like, let's just say a baby gets aborted, never had the chance to make a decision on their own, and they just went kaput, bye-bye.
Then that's not their fault. So they will straight go back to its sender. God sent them.
They're gonna go back to its sender, so they're gonna
go back to God.
Does that mean that they go to heaven?
Of course. Of course. Where else do you think they go?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's a good theory. Like they probably go to heaven because they didn't get to exercise their free will. I think that's a good guess. It makes sense.
Yeah, but I understand also if you don't believe in God, then you would want to live here because this is just what you know about life and you don't want to die. So you don't want to cease to exist. Nobody wants to cease to exist.
I believe there's a God, but I still want to live here as long as possible because I think there's a difference. Just like you're saying that heaven might be so incredible, I can also say that this plane is also incredible because there's this legendary saying in this movie I saw, right? Obviously, I don't 100% subscribe to this, but I think it has a point. It was about Greek mythology. You know how they have a lot of gods? Mm-hmm. And it was saying, this character goes, did you know gods envy humans? And then the other character is like, why would gods envy humans? Because humans live and they can die. And then you sit there and you think about it like, what? But there's a point to it. The mere fact that we can die makes this one existence that might not seem so amazing so expensive. That's the reason that when people get old or when people are about to die, it means something. It shows oh man, I'm about to die.
So you think that then you said that you would want to live forever here, right?
I mean, I would like to live as long as possible.
Okay, let's just say as long as possible is forever here. Would you pick it? Would you say yes?
Am I going to be the only one here?
No, you have other people, just like how your life is right now.
I mean, that sounds kind of cool, but I mean, is the world going to get worse?
No. Again, stop asking questions. Answer fast. Okay?
I think that would be cool.
Is your existence less valuable than right now, since you live forever?
No. I don't understand your point.
I just broke down your argument. Like, you just said that the fact that you die makes this life so important and so cool. But then you're saying that
I think the
if
fact
you live
that
forever, it's still just as cool as important. So
I think the fact that you can die gives it a certain weight to this life. But I think that if you were to be able to live forever in this mortal world, it still would be meaningful in some way. I'll give you an example. Like, you know how they do all those movies where like there's vampires and stuff? If I got to live forever on this mortal world, I think it would be cool because there's a lot of stuff that's gonna happen that I would love to see. Like, for example, all the technology. Like, we might not get to live long enough to have our own Iron Man suits. I would like to see that. I would like to see people teleporting.
what if you get to see that, but like way better, and it's eternally? And the thing is, when I say heaven is like, oh, that's so good because of this, because of that, the best thing about heaven is that you are with God. You are the closest you can be with God. The closest. Which here on earth is really hard to get to. Basically, it's impossible because here we have sin. We have so many things that we have to focus on, that are earthly things.
But you're speaking about God. God is everywhere. He's omnipresent.
God is everywhere, but you are not as close to him as you could be.
So let me ask you, do you think your experience in this world, dealing with your faith, can be of an incredible experience to you? Do you think that's possible, or do you think that it can only be an incredible experience if you go to heaven?
If you don't go to heaven in the end?
Yeah. Can you have a great relationship with God on earth?
Well, yeah, of course. But if you have a great relationship with God on earth, I suppose that you will go to heaven.
Yeah, I know.
You have a great relationship.
Yeah, but that's not the question. The question is, do you think you can have an incredible experience on earth before going to heaven?
Of course, as we do. I do. I have a good experience on earth.
Okay, so when you're saying that you be the closest you can be to God, when you say that, what does that mean to you?
When you love someone, let's just say you're married or you have a girlfriend and you're absolutely in love with that person, but you're in a long distance relationship that hurts you, right? You can still talk to her. You call her, you get like FaceTime her, but it's not as good, right? Because it's not face to face. And then there's a moment that you go and see her face to face and you guys finally are able to meet, get your relationship together, living together. That's a whole different experience.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, but you're comparing two mortals. I'm talking about a mortal and a God. God is always there.
We're not typical, not conventional.